Hi, this is Dr. Justin here, and today's talk is on PMS. And one of the biggest questions is, why do I have PMS? So what is PMS? All it stands for is Premenstrual Syndrome. So you break it down, menstruation is the time of month when you start bleeding. So PMS tends to be the symptoms, the sequelae of symptoms that occur 3, 4, and 5 days before your period. So again, what causes PMS? So there's a hormone called progesterone. Progesterone dominates in the second half of a woman's cycle. So a woman's cycle is really broken down into two halves. You have the first phase of the cycle, which lasts about 14 days. That's known as the follicular phase. And we have the second half of the woman's cycle, known as the luteal phase. So the main goal of the follicular phase is to thicken the endometrial lining. So estrogen predominates in the first half of the cycle. That gets the uterine lining thick, which is really important. So when we expel the egg at ovulation, that egg can then hold on and basically implant into the uterine wall. So the second half of the cycle, again, is the luteal phase, and that's where progesterone dominates. And progesterone is really important because it helps the cell lining on the uterine wall to differentiate and mature. And that's important because when the cells in the uterine lining differentiate and mature, the egg has a better likelihood of implanting and holding a foothold into that uterine lining. So again, we look at estrogen. Estrogen's main role is to make cells grow. And progesterone's main role is to make cells grow up, ideally differentiate and mature. So we need this nice balance of progesterone and estrogen to help maintain healthy hormonal balance. And it's really important that if we go into a state of estrogen dominance, we're making more estrogen relative to progesterone. Again, it's a little bit misleading because we normally make about 23 to 25 times more progesterone than estrogen to begin with. But the whole idea is that ratio becomes less and less and less, and that estrogen is having an effect where it's making cells grow faster than progesterone can help cells differentiate and grow up. So we see things like fibroids and polycystic ovarian syndrome and even endometriosis when patients go into a state of estrogen dominance. So why does estrogen dominance occur? And how does this tie into PMS? Well, again, we have lots of environmental compounds, whether it be from pesticides, from GMOs, whether it be from xenoestrogens or plastic or various chemicals in the environment that are actually estrogen-based. So when we get exposed to more of these xenoestrogens, that's going to be bumping up our estrogen levels anyway. And the next thing to look at is our progesterone actually gets broken down and converted into stress hormones such as cortisol. So the more stressed we are, the more we don't handle our blood sugar, we don't eat correctly throughout the day, the more essentially we don't manage our stress, the more we sleep poorly, etc. Our progesterone is going to get converted to cortisol. Thus we start to see more of an imbalance. We become more estrogen dominant and relatively speaking having less progesterone. And that when that progesterone knocks out a little bit early in that second half of the cycle, that continues the sequelae of the symptoms that we see as PMS, such as breast tenderness, bloating, menstrual cramps, mood issues, etc. So managing those stress is going to help bump up that progesterone naturally in the second half of your cycle. And there are natural programs we can do to actually help boost that in a natural way while the underlying stressors are addressed as well. Hope everyone found this talk beneficial. For any questions, feel free and visit the website or email the office. Thanks. Have a great day.